Welcome to Takeology, where you're two boys in the lab, so you can do the cooking. We've been gone for a little bit, had the holidays, but we are back and better than ever, and we have the Matthew McDonald in the building. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Made the playoffs in four
Come
out of the
on.
five leagues, so we're doing good. Uh, Hope everyone had a happy holiday. It was good to see
Yeah.
family. Um, just really be thankful for the things you have. It's a good reminder for sure. But
Yeah.
now the more important stuff. We got the short road here into the playoffs, so we really need to lock in.
Dude, 4 out of 5 leagues is pretty impressive, man. That means you know a little something about some fantasy football.
I'm not going to toot my own horn, but it
A
definitely
little bit.
takes some.
Tooted a little
Yeah,
bit, dude.
a little bit. It definitely takes some luck as well with injuries and
Yeah.
all the other things you can't really control. I know you are getting kind of frustrated. You still made the playoffs and have a great record, but you just can't control some of the injuries that happen. It's really
Yeah.
unfortunate, especially when it happens going into the playoffs for fantasy.
It's like of all times, the injury bug had to hit me. And it's hit me all year, kind of, but especially now, it's like, man, the worst opportune time. But we're in the playoffs, baby. I'm all in this year. I have no picks. I'm all in, dude. So it is what it is. But those injuries came hard, uh, and we'll see how it goes. But I hope those that are in the playoffs that we can be here to help, as most playoffs are this net, and they'll start week 15, depending on what you have. But most playoffs will either start next week or week 15. So biggest thing though, week 14 has the worst bye you could possibly have. For people who have CMC, or I mean, Brock Purdy kind of played well this last week. George Kittle too. It kind of sucks that week 14, the 49ers. Are they the only team on week 14 bye?
I think so. I think they are the only team this week.
Come on, man. It had to just be them. Literally CMC, which arguably could be a league winner, honestly. Not based on his rushing ability, but just PPR machine, bro. Literally a receiver. But yeah, week 14, we got playoffs coming, and so we're gonna open up with our lab report today. We're glad you're here. We got some waiver wire picks, injuries, updates, different things coming in. But one of the I don't want to. We'll start with this so I can get it off my chest because it hurts. It hurts a lot, Matt. Amon-Ra St. Brown, dude. Literally, if it wasn't for the rest of my team, dude had a goose egg this last week. All because of an injury. And hopefully he will be back. What was it? Is it ankle?
Yeah, it's a low ankle sprain.
Jeez, those are dangerous, dude. It could be 1 week, it
Yeah,
could be three.
yeah, we've talked about it at length this year. It's a tough injury. They are saying he could play this week, and he's one of those
Mm.
guys that's going to play if he can. So you obviously want him to play, but if you do have a first round matchup that may be pretty easy in the playoffs, you might just rather have him sit out so he's fully healthy going in to the second
Yeah.
round. But for people that are really this is do or die, you definitely want him out there. And if anybody's going to get hurt, you'd want it to be him. He's a tough as nails. He's going to play if he
Right.
can.
He is a dog. Quick question within that, Matt. I mean, this is kind of maybe jumping ahead a little bit, but if Amon-Ra St. Brown is out, obviously Jamison Williams is like a huge play, especially since they're going against Dallas. But do you play Isaac Tesla?
I mean, it definitely depends on the team.
Yep.
If you're struggling with depth on your team and you're coming into the playoffs with Amon Ra hurt, if you don't have a better backup, I think he's in play as a low tier flex play, and that's because of his red zone ability.
Right.
He has shown the ability, just like Traylon Burks, the catch we saw the other night from him.
Yo.
Yeah, that was phenomenal. But he's definitely shown the ability to have really good skills when it comes to contested catches, and he is targeted in the red zone. We saw it this past game when Amon Ra was out. So I would say it's a low tier flex play, but Jamison Williams, I don't think it can be understated enough. If
No,
Amon Ra is out, how important he's going to be. He's gonna win people championships if Amon Ra misses an extended period of time. Dude had
no,
7
bro.
catches, 144 yards, a touchdown on top of that. And for a guy that has given multiple goose eggs this year,
Bro,
it's great to see him coming into full strength here in the playoffs.
it's scary. I don't know who has James Williams in our league. I want to look just because it makes me nervous. But
I don't either.
I'm not even gonna look, dude. I can't. I can't right now. I can't handle it. But the dude is a dog. So if Mon Ra does miss time, Isaac Tesla would be a deeper league threat and would be more of like a if you had to have a guy with a big ceiling. Or
Huge
I mean,
ceiling.
because I mean, Isaac Tesla's gonna get red zone targets. Like literally, he's gotten 3 touchdowns on the year, and that's been most of his like target share there. So that's a positive, especially if he gets more playing time. But Jameson Williams out the roof. Another injury. Mr. Aaron Jones is day to day, so it could be a matter of that he's not playing. I hope he gets better quickly, but I hope he doesn't play. I'm gonna be honest. I need Jordan Mason, dude. I need him, and I need JJ McCarthy to freaking play too, dude. Listen, this last week, I don't even know who. What was it like, Mike Bugalow or something like that, bro? It was some
Yeah, I'll clarify.
dude. It was some whack. I've never heard of this guy. Okay, maybe it's because I don't know some of the ball. I know plenty of ball, but like, who's this dude? And it was just awful. Jay Jetta, terrible. Just a bad Vikings team. So JJ McCarthy would be great. Jordan Mason would be a guy. When we talk about waiver wires in a minute here, but Aaron Jones might not be playing, so keep an eye on that for sure.
Yeah, it's Max Brosmer.
Okay, not Mike.
Yeah, through 4
Dang.
picks. One of the picks, he was getting tackled and just flung it back, and it got returned for a pick six.
Will
He
Levis type?
Yeah, he was definitely in over his heels this game. He was not, and JJ really hasn't played great, but
No.
at least it wasn't 4 picks bad. So this was pretty terrible to see, especially if you have Justin Jefferson. It
Yeah.
just tanks him. It tanks him.
Man, that makes me think of the name AJ Brown, and I don't even want to go there, Matt, yet, because
Yeah,
oof,
he
boy,
makes me so mad.
man, we better not. We'll save it for later in the pod, maybe today. But yeah, Aaron Jones day to day. Matt, what other injuries we got out there, man?
Yeah, so we got Marvin Harrison. He just came back, and then he went in and out of this game with a heel injury. He's questionable for this upcoming week. You definitely hope he can play with how many injuries we're dealing with at the wide receiver position, and just you just don't have a ton of depth. And if this is a guy that you drafted as a wide receiver one, so if he's going to continue to be out, that'll be missing 3 out of the last 4 games. That's just not going to lead to much success going into the playoffs. But when he was out, it did show the ability of the backup receivers on that team. Michael
Yep.
Wilson was balling with Harrison out. Greg Dortch is even in play if Marvin Harrison's out, and then it just bolsters Trey McBride even more. The dude's been on a heater.
That's what we need, man.
I don't. He's the best tight end in football, which I've been a Travis Kelsey guy for years, but you can't deny it at this point. He's
No.
he's playing phenomenal.
When this guy gets touchdowns, because last year, like, he was good and had none, right? I think he got like a fumble recovery, and that was one of them. But
Yeah,
literally this year, along with the touchdown usage that this guy's gotten, he's been phenomenal. And honestly, bro, I, send Kyler Murray somewhere else, dude. Just keep Jacoby Brissett at this point, bro. I mean, I seen something earlier where they were talking about Kyler Murray maybe going in a Sean McVay offense. Maybe that's the solution for the guy. But I don't know. It may be. We'll see where that goes with Mr. Kyler Murray. But speaking of Kyler Murray, Trey Benson, it was hopeful that he could come back, but he actually has been ruled out this week. So Michael Carter, really Bam Knight is the guy. He actually had a pretty decent fantasy show, and I want to confirm on that. But I remember him getting a touchdown at least this last week. So Bam Knight, it's still kind of a split backfield, but I'd say Bam Knight takes the lead there
yeah.
on
Bam
this
Knight was
Cardinals team.
decent this past week.
Yep, 11
Uh,
carries, 62 yards, and a receiving touchdown. So
yeah, he's going to get the work in the red zone. Michael Carter is pretty much just used in the receiving game, so he doesn't offer you a high floor. So if you are going to play someone there, it would definitely be Bam Knight, but it's not like a play you're super excited about by any means.
yeah, not a guy you want to trust in, honestly, at all.
And And then just a few more injuries here. Parker Washington has a hip injury, so he's going to be out this next game. I think we've seen Jacoby Myers come on this team and just play pretty phenomenal. I know you traded him.
Dude,
Uh, that's
it makes you so
that's
mad, bro.
that's a tough pill to swallow, but he honestly has been great. He seems to be Trevor Lawrence's favorite target, and even Brian Thomas was back this past game and he did nothing. I don't
Yeah,
know what to say about that situation. I don't know if Brian's still hurt or what's going on, but for a guy
yeah,
to get drafted with the idea of him possibly becoming a top five receiver for fantasy, for him to just be worth nothing basically this whole
really
year,
awful.
it's been catastrophic.
Yeah, losing Jacoby Myers in terms of I traded the guy away. It's always like you trade that one guy, and then Jacoby Myers was a dog before, but that's a whole nother conversation there too. I needed a
But
running back. Oh, my
yeah,
heart.
that's what's tough. It's so team specific.
Yeah,
You in that case needed a running back, so you had to trade some of your depth at receiver. It just didn't happen to work out in this instance. But you know,
right.
that's the tough part about the trades. You're playing with a double edged knife. You just never know which way
Exactly.
it's going to go. Then the
Exactly.
last one, Justin Herbert broke his non-throwing hand, so it looks like he's going to play,
Yeah.
but it's just kind of a scary start. We saw Aaron Rodgers play with a hurt left hand this past week, and it did not go well at
No.
all. Now Herbert's a lot better of a player at this point in his career than Aaron Rodgers is, but it's definitely kind of scary, especially with that being a Monday night game. You're waiting all weekend to just have the possibility of Herbert just blow it up for you. So that I would probably, if you have the potential to do that.
Man, it's another part where it just hurts me. J- Another part of this for Justin Herbert, the offensive line. So they didn't play a very good defense, and he got sacked quite a bit. He got hit quite often in this game. The offensive line is not looking that great, and I don't think Joe Alt played this last game. I'm not exactly 100% sure. He may have, which is a big difference there. But J- Justin Herbert likely could re-injure it, kind of like with Aaron Rodgers we've seen. So it is a risky play. Where let's say he did play, that he could re-injure it and then only play half a game or whatever. So I don't know, really, really risky, and it's something where it's like you said, if you have another option to put in, it may be best for this week to put him in for sure.
Yeah, I mean Jacoby Brissett's been on the waiver wire pretty much the last 5 or 6 weeks, and the dude's balling.
Yeah,
He's been a top 10 quarterback every week since he's become a starter. So if there's a potential starting guy out on the waiver wire, I would definitely move to play him rather than Herbert. Especially for like us, the playoffs start this week in Dynasty. I don't think you want to risk starting Herbert and him just losing you the week on his own. Like you said,
yeah.
he could get re-injured pretty easily. So I personally would not risk that if you have the opportunity to start someone else.
Which Jaden Daniels is he ruled out for this week or is he?
No, he should be in this week. So a lot of teams, especially you're going to
Yeah,
have Jaden Daniels coming back and play this week. Uh, I don't. What is their matchup this upcoming week?
it's not a good one.
Who
Minnesota.
is it? I mean, it could definitely be worse with how bad
That's
their
true.
offense has struggled. I think you're going to have a lot of opportunities for Jaden. So if that was your decision, I mean, it is your decision. So I would
Yeah.
definitely go Daniels for sure.
Or
Uh,
Williams against Green Bay.
that's a very tough defense. The Green
Yeah.
Bay is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I would probably lean Daniels in that situation, but I would completely understand going with Williams if you
I'm
wanted
in a
to
pickle, man.
steer clear of Daniels.
Yeah. What a week
But
14.
yeah, it's getting stressful for people coming into the playoffs here. You're either trying to make it in or you're starting the playoffs. So this is, I mean, it's exciting though. You could be on your
Yeah,
way to a championship here shortly.
trying to get there. We'll see. Uh, is that all the injuries we got for the day, Mister Matt
Yeah, yeah,
McDonald?
we can move on to waiver wire.
All right, a waiver wire I want to throw out there. Maybe a little bit of a deeper league, kinda, but especially in talking about Jaden Daniels coming back. We have seen. Listen, number one, I never understood the hype behind Bill. Okay, never understood. This guy hasn't been that great, but Mr. Chris Rodriguez has taken the lead responsibility of this backfield. He got 11 attempts against Denver, a good run defense, 41% snap percentage, which I know is not 50-50, but he got a touchdown within that. And so, with especially like looking through the rest of the scope of the playoffs, he has the Giants, Philadelphia, and Dallas, and then Philly again in Week 18. So like a pretty nice defense in terms of like running game for the running backs. So Chris Rodriguez is a guy that I'm sure is out there in a lot of leagues available, and so he'd be a guy to go pick up. Just as a
No,
little stash there, I want to throw that out there.
I definitely like that. That could be used for dynasty. It could also be for redraft if you're struggling with injuries or bye weeks. Christian McCaffrey out this week.
Yeah,
He's definitely a guy you could kind of throw in there. Just to add on to, he's had 12 or more attempts in the last 3 or 4 games. He's had 10 or more points in the last 3 or 4 games. And like you stated, Daniels is going to be back this week. And it's against a Minnesota defense that has been, if they're lacking in an area, it's definitely the rushing defense. So I would be perfectly comfortable with starting Rodriguez with this offense. It should be getting better with Daniels back. So I for
yeah.
sure like that.
And McLaurin just came back and had a phenomenal game too.
He looked good. He did.
Yeah, and don't even get me started on the Traylon Burks, dude.
Dude, I'm proud
Come
of him.
on.
I'm repping the Hogs today. This that guy, he didn't get a fair shake in Tennessee. That's all I'll
No,
say.
no.
Getting drafted to replace AJ Brown is a tough situation in the first place, and then you have Ryan Tannehill throwing you the ball, and then it only got worse from there.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that he got a second shot at it.
And dude, how about Marcus Mariota? Just being a baller, bro. I kind of love to see it. Really, honestly. I mean,
Yeah,
in Oregon, but
if if you're talking about quality backup quarterbacks, he's definitely at the top of the list. He
yeah,
can come in and win you. I mean, he played great this past game, so he's definitely a top tier backup. So even if Daniels does miss, which I don't think he will, but Mariota is definitely a guy you could look at playing this week as well.
yeah,
Um, but just moving on, a guy I'm pretty high on. I have him in Dynasty, but I think you can also play him in redraft as Kyle Monangai.
yeah,
It's been a backfield that's been kind of 50-50 this year, especially with the success Monangai's had with Swift out. He's had 10 or more points the last 3 games. He's had 12 or more rushing attempts the last 3 games as well. We saw this past week, both running backs on this team had over 100 yards against a tough Philly defense. So
yeah,
Ben Johnson, he has the special touch when it comes to running the ball, especially with a two running back system. We saw it in Detroit. He had two running backs on that team that were very successful in fantasy. Now he's doing it again with the two running backs in Chicago. So it's definitely great to see. And he might not be out there, but I think his roster percentage is like 60%.
yeah.
So it's worth checking at least to see if he's out there.
Definitely worth a shot. Another guy, keeping to the Commanders, Zach Ertz, especially like Marcus Mariota is playing. He loves to throw to the tight end, and he just had a 106-yard game off 10 catches with 13 targets with Zach Ertz. A guy out there that could be available. And then even within that, Adonai Mitchell, I know this is like a deeper league one, but dude, Tyrod Taylor is throwing it to the guy. So little Georgia Bulldog there. I know that's a little, maybe not like a high priority, I would say. I definitely wouldn't put him at the high priority, but just wanted to throw that out there as well. So,
Hey, Tyrod Taylor is better than Justin Fields, so
dude,
I,
insane.
Yeah, it's that's a bad situation. But yeah, I definitely like Zach Ertz. He's been a guy all year that you can kind of fill gap your tight end position on a week to week basis. And even if Daniels plays, he has shown he loves to throw the ball to Ertz as well. He's definitely the
Yeah.
safety blanket on that team, so he's definitely in play. Staying on the tight end routes, Darren Waller came back from injury, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and 2 out of the 4 games this year, he's had 17 points or higher, and he has 4 TDs in 4 games. They love to target him in the red zone, so I definitely think he's kind of a higher profile tight end you can play. And with him having the injury recently, I think he may still be out there on waiver wire if a guy wasn't able to keep him on his bench. So that's definitely someone to look at, especially with Kittle being out this week. There's probably quite a
Mm-hmm.
few teams that are looking to have a backup tight end. And the same thing goes for Brenton Strange. He's
Yep.
he's been very targeted on the Jacksonville offense when he is playing. Last 2 games back from injury, he's had 70% or higher snap share, and he's been a top 10 tight end in those 2 games as well. So he's definitely a guy that you can kind of throw in there because Trevor Lawrence loves throwing him the ball.
Yeah. And he had a really good game and didn't. There was like a stretch there where it seemed like he wasn't even on the field and he still had a good game.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we mentioned this earlier, but Amari and Hampton should be back this week, which is huge for the Chargers as well, which could help Mr. Justin Herbert. And we also did not mention this, probably because it's more of a not necessarily like a huge issue, but Kyron Williams did kind of get banged up this last game, and so Blake Corum, which should probably be a lot of people should have anchored him, could be a guy out there where if Kyron Williams was out, Blake Corum will do great.
Yeah, Blake Corum looks good when he gets the opportunities. Literally, all he needs is the ability. I mean, Kyron was hurt this past game, then he came back and vultured a touchdown after Blake Corum marched him down the field. The dude looks good. He just needs the opportunity. So if Kyron was to happen to get hurt, uh, Corum is definitely a guy you can automatically play.
Yeah, and also Tyrone Tracy did kind of get banged up too this last game, and Devin Singletary didn't look too bad. So another guy to throw out there, which I think he'll be fine as well. It said the report that he looks good, but you never know. Just a thing to keep an eye out on and watch for. So
No,
some
at this
dogs out there
at this point in the season, you have to be watching every bit of news because
for real.
if you have any sort of advantage when you can go pick one of these guys up after news just broke, you definitely need to be paying attention. This guy right here has taken many players from me just because he's been paying more attention than I am. So it's definitely important, especially at this point in the season. And the last
Oh
one
yeah,
I'll bring up, Mike Evans. We could finally see him come back to action this week.
come
He's
on.
still questionable, but if he comes back, I think that's definitely gonna. People may have dropped him. He's been hurt for a long time, and if you already had an IR spot that was full, they may have had to drop him. So it's definitely worth
Yeah,
taking a glance at least. This is a type of guy that can. He's had 1,000 yards the last 10 seasons. He's such a
yeah.
good player, even in the older age. So he's definitely worth checking to make sure he's not available.
He's one of my like. I would say consider him like a player I'd like to watch. Just play the game of football. Just dominant, mossing folks out here just because of his height. And he's just good old Texas A&M Aggie. I don't like that, but
Yeah, he's got some attitude to him. He's ready to fight at any time. So he's definitely entertaining to watch.
good old Mike. Chris Godwin also had a pretty good game, and Bucky Irving was back, dude. The Bucks got hot at the right moment.
Yeah, they're going to win their division. That division's so bad that they're not going to have any struggle.
No, no, they're not. All right, well, those are our lab report for this week. I did want to kind of start off with this game because it's fascinating of how good Joe Burrow is. Truly, this guy came back from injury, and like the Ravens are not a bad team defensively, and this dude balled out. Jamar without a T Higgins too, which is another piece of that. Let me pull up his stats here as I'm looking for this game. There we go. Mr. Joe Burrow threw for 261 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now he threw 46 times. The percentage isn't the greatest there, but Jamar Chase with 14 targets,
Love it.
you gotta love that right there. No touchdowns, still had a great fantasy output. The rest of them are kind of scattered around there. But even for Chase Brown, like, and obviously Chase Brown had a bounce back there with Joe Flacco coming in. But like, you love to see if you have a Bengals share of any players that Joe Burrow is back, and especially in time for playoffs. And to see that he has come back healthy and strong and played really good, it's only going to get better. Truly.
Yeah, if you were able to pick Joe Burrow up this past week or the week before, stashing him, that was a great move. I tried to, and our dirty friend Avery beat me to it. But I think what we've seen is when Joe Burrow's healthy, he's a top five quarterback in the league. It's
Yeah.
literally his health has been the only thing that's held him back, uh, with the exception of his defense as well. But shout out to the defense this game. Holding the Ravens to 14 points is pretty impressive. Uh, and like you said with Chase Brown, when they have the ability to pass on this team, when it's not Jake Browning at quarterback, Chase
Yeah.
Brown is a fantastic runner of the ball. He averaged 5 yards per carry this game. When Joe Flacco was in, he was close to five. He's a great player when they're able to pass the ball downfield. And like you said, Jamar Chase, he's going to win people championships. Having 14 targets on any offense is impressive. But when you are the type of player Jamar Chase is, he he's so good after the catch, and he's targeted so much in the red zone. He offers you such a high floor. It seems like 15 points are guaranteed for him each week, and then it can only go up from there. So I think if you have any Bengals player right now, you're feeling pretty good, and especially Higgins coming back here soon, he's
Yeah.
going to be good when he gets back as well. And we could possibly see, as crazy as it sounds, the Bengals make a charge in this division, which is
Yeah.
which is crazy when they're sitting at 4 wins. But the winner of this division could legit be under 500, which seems
That's
seems
crazy.
yeah, it seems crazy to talk about. But the Ravens lost this game; they're 6-6. The Bengals play the Ravens in 2 weeks, so
Yep.
it's definitely going to be interesting. And on the other side of this game, I think it's important to bring up how bad Lamar Jackson's been since he came
Dude,
back from
yeah.
injury. I mean, this game, he didn't even look like a recognizable player. He
Mm.
threw the last games he's been back from injury. He has 5 picks and 1 touchdown. Like, it's just not the player that arguably should have been a back-to-back MVP. So it's
Yeah.
definitely
He didn't
scary.
even run well.
No, since he's came back from the injury, he hasn't hardly ran the ball at all. So
Yeah.
that's another quarterback that I would be looking. As crazy as it sounds, I'd be looking to bench him until you finally
Wow.
see something good on the field.
To bench Lamar in the playoffs would be just a bold move, honestly. I I understand why you would just with the play that Lamar like Lamar's been awful in these last 4 weeks. Let me look at the stats here because it's been bad. Yeah, quarterback. So quarterback 9 when he came back in week 9. But after that, 15, 29, 25, and 27. That's awful from a guy that you are expecting to be a top 5 quarterback as a fantasy football player.
Yeah, I mean, he
Uh,
got drafted in the third to fourth round.
yeah.
It basically just handicaps your team when you draft a
Yep.
guy that high, and he's borderline, or it's not even borderline. He is unplayable at this time, and as bad as that is to sound, especially going into the playoffs, I I just wouldn't feel comfortable uh, putting him in the starting lineup.
No. No, I definitely wouldn't either. Even just, I mean, in this game, the I think about for me, I have Tyler Loop. You even want to look ahead of playoffs of your best available option at kicker for an offense that can get you down the field. And right now, for me, it's like I don't even want to play any Ravens player if Lamar is going to continue to play like this. I mean, Mark Andrews already has had up and downs, but you can't trust Say Flowers. I mean, you can't really trust Derrick Henry if they can't get to the end zone. Although he did have a good game with a touchdown off 10 carry. I mean, he what was it 6 yards a 6 yards a carry is pretty solid, but still, you can't trust this team right now with
Uh,
the way Lamar's played.
Sometimes I feel like this coaching staff are just idiots. And I know that
Yeah,
sounds
in the playoffs especially.
yeah, giving 10 carries to your star running back who has just
Yeah,
shown the ability, if you give him 20 plus carries, he's going to win you again. He gets better as the game goes. And
yeah,
he broke off on the first drive of the game, he broke off the long 20-yard touchdown. And then he gets 10 carries for the entire game. It doesn't make it's almost like they're trying to throw Lamar Jackson out of this slump. And
yeah.
it's not a
It's
smart.
never worked though.
No, it's never worked. That's how the Chiefs have beat them in the playoffs year after year. It's just it's stupid. They
Why in the world?
I really feel like Harbaugh might be fired if they either don't make
Oh,
the playoffs or go out early.
I could see that happening. Because especially in looking at this, who is Rasheen Ali with 4 carries for this team when you have freaking Derrick Henry? It just doesn't make sense. Another part of this game too, Matt. I don't know if you noticed this, and it may affect Chase Brown, although we didn't see it in this game. Samaje Perine had 14 carries. This was a 50-50. I mean, well, 60-40 split here. Samaje Perine just came back. Is that something to be concerned about?
It's definitely unfortunate. Piron is definitely their short yardage guy. He's kind of
Yeah.
like Kareem Hunt for the Chiefs. Uh, I wouldn't be as nervous about it just because of the ability Chase Brown has in the passing game. This game he had 7 catches, so it's definitely not ideal. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but with how much they target the running backs in this offense, I think you're safe. I don't think
Yeah.
you should worry too much.
I just had to put in a waiver claim there. Just recognize something. Had to go ahead and, excuse me, get that done there.
That's
All
what
right.
I'm
Well, that's
talking.
the
That's
big.
what I'm talking about. He's a sly dog.
My bad, guys. Sorry. Priorities. Got to get them right. Uh, I need a kicker bad. So, anyways, all right. Green Bay versus the Lions. Just Jamison Williams, man.
Dog.
7 of 10, 144 yards and a touchdown. Now, the rest of them, I mean, Monty had a pretty good game. We finally got to see that really off of like not much usage here, too. It's been kind of weird. I know you've had a lot of share in David Montgomery, but Jameer Gibbs is a dog. And like this defense is a good defense. So this was a good game. But the Green Bay Packers are just weird in terms of like we've talked about this many times. The receivers are up and down. You never know who is the solidified number one receiver. And correct me if I'm wrong, Matt. Jaden Reed should be coming back.
Yeah, yeah. His
What
window's
I
open.
mean,
He could be back as early as this next week.
which just adds to the confusion of this receiving core. Because in this game, Dentavian Wicks had the 2 touchdowns. Christian Watson had a touchdown. He had the most target share there. But also Romeo Dobbs had a touchdown. And so great game through the air, but it's like who's the guy right now? Week before it was Christian Watson. Now it's Dontavian Wicks getting this. I mean, who do you trust?
The easy answer is you can't really trust any of them. Like
Mm,
you said, Jaden Reed coming back, that's only going to muddy the waters more. I think if you're looking for the safest option, it's probably Christian Watson, just with his
yeah.
target share, and he has the ability just to break that one long bomb each game. And the Packers are going to throw a couple of those each game. So I think Christian Watson is definitely the safest. But in the past, Jaden Reed has been the one on this offense. So
Mm-hmm.
just depending on how he comes back, that could make matters even worse. But like you stated, Wicks has been he was the guy this game. He's always had the talent. He's just had a problem catching the ball. He's just got those butter fingers. But
Dude.
Romeo Dobbs has been super successful earlier this season. So it's especially with Tucker Craft out, it's
Yep.
pretty much Russian roulette with which receiver is going to have the big game on a week to week. And Jordan Love hasn't given us any indication that we can trust him on a week to week basis. So it's just hard to really play anybody besides Josh Jacobs. He's an automatic guy each week, and then Christian Watson is probably just the flex play of the wide receivers.
Yeah, this Green Bay team seems fraudulent. I don't know. 8-3-1. Do they deserve it? I don't know, man.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
That
I mean,
defense is it's pretty darn good. They definitely
it's couple men.
mask a lot of the offense's deficiencies. Sorry, hard word. Uh,
I know it is.
but I really think the important thing for this game was the Lion. The Lions are on a downhill slide that really doesn't make a ton of sense to me. They have all
Yeah.
the offensive weapons in the world. Their defense is pretty good. They haven't really been ravaged by injuries like they were this past year. The coaching the coaching staff has changed, but Dan Campbell's been he's still the leader of the team. So it's been odd. I mean they could realistically miss the playoffs. They're sitting at seven
Hmm.
and five. That division is so darn good. Uh, the Bears look unrecognizable this year,
Man,
sitting atop the NFC right now.
nine
And
and
then
three.
yeah, it's a crazy division. You're definitely going to have two teams out of that division, but three just seems unrealistic. So it's definitely going to be exciting to see these last few games. Who's going to emerge as the two that come in the playoffs?
Speaking of, it's a good segue to talk about this game because they shouldn't. The reason they won this game is, man, because they dominated, straight up dominated the ground game. Otherwise, like looking at Caleb Williams' stat here, 17 for 36, 154 yards, a touchdown, and an interception, and then 13 yards on the ground and 5 carries. It's like there's no way they won a game with a quarterback play like that. But man, DeAndre Swift with 125 yards and Kyle Monungai with 130 yards. I would feel like they would have more in the air against this Philly defense, but man, did they dominate. And then on the other side, we see Saquon Barkley, who, correct me if I'm wrong, Matt, has had like honestly a bad season overall, but especially in the last 4 weeks. He's been running back 20, 27, running back 19, and running back 47. What an awful time in the season and the end of the season for fantasy football to have these bad outages from Mr. Saquon here.
Yeah, you're not wrong at all. I have firsthand experience with it. He's had a tough year.
Yeah.
It's tough to say if it's a decline in his play or if it's just the downgrade in the offense in general. This offense
Yeah.
has been one of the weirdest in the NFL. Uh, just an interesting stat. They lead the league in 4 and outs, which I don't think you would ever expect from a Eagles team that's been to 2 Super Bowls in the last 5 years.
Right.
But yeah, they lead the league they lead the league in 4 and outs. They've punted the ball. I think top five in the league. It's it's a really hot and cold offense. First half they could put up 20 points and go scoreless the second half. It's super odd. And with AJ Brown raising all these complaints like he always is, he's been getting the ball
Dude.
as of the last 2 games, but they've also been losing. So
Yeah.
this is another coaching staff where I just don't understand what they're doing. Kevin Patula, their offensive coordinator, needs to be fired. It's a
True.
bad offense right now, and I think the Eagles' defense they are good, but getting rushed on by two running backs for over 100 yards is pretty crazy. I
It's
I
awful.
would I wouldn't have expected that in a million years. So it's definitely good to see on the Bears side that they can run the ball with great success no matter who they're playing. But like you said, Caleb Williams, he hasn't been amazing. He hasn't been committing turnovers though. He had one this game, but throughout the course of the season, he's actually been pretty good at protecting the ball. So I don't know. The Eagles are weird. Saquon has had a bad year.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can turn it around for the playoffs, but I wouldn't hold my breath by any means.
I mean, he's running back 13 on the year. So, like, to say a bad year in terms of Saquon, kind of bad
Well,
year,
when you're
you know?
drafted top five,
Yeah. To
it's not.
be 13th.
It's terrible.
Yeah, no, you're right. But, dude, I'm over A.J. Brown. Listen, in the last 3 weeks, he's had over at least 10 targets. And it's not like they've just been fantastic these last. This team should be so good with Devontae Smith and Saquon and Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown. But dude, I also hate just the complaining baby side of being a receiver. Of I need the ball. Just it's it's a frustrating thing. And then another piece of it's like DJ Moore on this game, or just this year has been kind of awful actually. But Roma Dunze is the guy. Well, we've seen a little comment there, and we haven't gotten into it. I saw a comment in the chat room there, Matt. Figured we just go ahead and do it. Get it out of the way because number one, I know it hurts to talk about this for you. It's a soft spot in your heart, and it's kind of a scary year. Number one, I want to ask you, how are you doing? Are you okay that the Chiefs could possibly not be in the playoffs?
I'm not doing great. I'll be honest with you. It's a tough pill to swallow. It it
Yeah,
just doesn't make a ton of sense, to be honest with you. When you've got a team that's top 10 in offense and defensive rankings throughout the year, it doesn't make sense why we're so bad in these one score games when we have a Hall of Fame coach, we have a Hall of Fame quarterback, Hall of Fame tight end. Shoot, Chris Jones, Hall of Fame defensive tackle.
yeah,
It really it's been frustrating, and our defense has been borderline atrocious when it comes to these third and longs. The second drive of the game, the Cowboys had three third and longs in a row, and every single one of them they completed either through PI or just our cornerbacks falling
man,
against their own feet. We couldn't cover CD Lamb and George Pickens if we had three guys on them. It
dude. Yeah,
it was the most infuriating thing I've ever watched. And I don't know if you knew it was a record PI flags thrown in a game. Ha-
I believe
having
it, dude.
having six of them, which don't get me wrong, we held them on a lot of routes, but some of them were very questionable. I don't even know if they know what PI is nowadays.
No,
It seems like they're calling PI on everything on us that game. What did you have any thoughts on that? Because I mean, I'm a Chiefs fan, so I'm obviously
yeah,
biased, but I
I
think
did.
even a non-Chiefs fan was getting a little weirded out by some of those calls.
I did not like fully. I didn't watch this game, which I wish I would have been able to, because I enjoy watching the Chiefs, not necessarily a fan, but just this year in general, like the amount of yellow flags that have been thrown in a Chiefs game, not even just because it's the Chiefs, it's just like, I guess it's a narrative. But I was kind of keeping up with the game, and it was like, oh look, they're at a third down, okay, maybe because I was watching for Rasheed Rice and Travis Kelsey on my team, and then boom, penalty, and I'm like, dude, how many times are they gonna just move this ball up? But in terms of like CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, they're elite receivers. Honestly, it's a receiver one, and I think the Steelers were stupid for trading him because they need a receiver next to DK Metcalf. But no, I mean I didn't watch it enough to say like if it was a bit like crazy, but overall this year it's been like, come on, like that's not PI. That's just like let them play. To me, in my opinion, there's a lot of babiness in it, but
Yeah,
it's
we're
hard to
the
guard
we're
these
the
guys, so I get it.
we're the second most penalized team in the league, which is not something that you typically see. I mean, we're usually a well-run team, and to see that many penalties on us is
Yeah.
it's pretty tough to swallow. But Mahomes has led, I think, four fourth quarter comebacks this year, and out of those four that he's got us the lead in the fourth quarter, we've lost three of them. Our defense just cannot make the stops when it matters, even though they're a pretty good overall defense. We're we have a complete inability to rush the quarterback.
Yeah.
Dak was sacked 0 times this game. It didn't even look like he had much pressure throughout the game.
Mm.
Um, it's just a tough scene. It's pretty cut and dry now. We have to win out to
Yeah.
have a possibility of making the playoffs. If we do make the playoffs, I'm never going to count Mahomes out. But this was about as good as he could play. 4 touchdowns this game, and we still lost. So it's almost like a just look towards the next year and
Yeah.
and kind of shake it off.
Go ahead
But
and get ready. I
yeah,
mean, you
it's
got
tough.
Chargers and
Well,
you got the Broncos. Titans and Raiders, you should be good there. But oh, and the Texans are well. You know what? This is a tough road ahead, actually.
yeah, the next game is pretty much going to decide it. If we can beat the Texans, I think we'll be in pretty good shape because the Broncos and Chargers are both at Arrowhead, so that makes me
That's not
pretty
bad.
confident. And then having the Titans and the Raiders on the road, those should be automatic wins.
This should be good. Geno
But
Smith is garbage.
it is crazy this year that typically if you have 10 wins, you're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
This year, that's just completely out the door.
Yeah.
I don't even think us getting 10 wins would do it, especially with how many tiebreakers people have against us, like the Jaguars, the Bills.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a tough road ahead, but if there's a guy that could do it, it would be Mahomes. But
He's gonna start
just
running
talk.
for his life, dude.
Oh yeah, both tackles are out. I didn't even
Yeah.
mention that they're both
Yeah. What?
hurt.
Jawan Taylor's out, or
Yeah, he hurt his elbow, and then Justin Simmons dislocated his wrist.
man, that's
So we're
tough.
gonna be we're gonna be without both tackles. So that's another hurdle we'll have to jump through. But just going through the specific players this game, Rasheed Rice is a dog. 2 touchdowns, 8 receptions,
Freaking
92
unit.
yards. I know you're ecstatic about that.
Oh, I'm
Um,
loving it, bro.
we saw Pacheco have his return this game. It didn't amount to anything.
No.
Hunt's going to be the running back one, and he's actually been good when he's gotten the carries. So I would
Which
play him with confidence.
let me interject here because I I understand you have a Hall of Fame coach, but freaking let Kareem Hunt run that thing. Like funnel it through him a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's a lot of stifling where they just kind of they'll run once and then pass, 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 and then run once, then pass, pass, pass.
Don't
Correct me if I'm
don't
wrong.
even
Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're 100% right. Don't get me started. Uh, we should have ran the ball against the Bills more than we did. They're
Seriously.
a terrible rushing defense, and we just didn't run it. Then the next game, Kareem Hunt has 30 carries, and he looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
Then this game, he has 14 carries. He should have had another 20 plus carry game.
Yeah. At
Uh,
least against
yeah,
Dallas, bro.
yeah. I think part of it was just how the game went. We got behind, so we had to throw the ball, but it's
Yeah.
tough with us having to climb out of this hole like this. I would expect Mahomes to have really good numbers just because
Yeah.
we're going to be throwing the ball a ton. So I think Kareem's definitely going to be a pretty good start, though. I agree with you. Run the ball. It's
Run
a
the
pretty
ball, bro.
simple. I get a little tired of the RPO that we run all the time. Like we just can't run a traditional play action, run
Nope.
the ball, then throw play action out of it. So
But the
I get a
RPO
little
always is
frustrated.
the pass. It's not the run option.
Oh yeah, we
You know what I mean?
if
It's
it's
never.
RPO, we're taking the pass 10 times out of 10.
It might as well just be a pass, bro.
Yeah. Like you said on the Cowboys side, CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens,
Man.
they're bona fide wide receiver ones. It's absurd that the Steelers they opted into DK Metcalf rather than George Pickens. The skill level is just astronomically different, which I think
Yeah.
was a tough call a season ago. But now that we see George Pickens on a competent offense, the dude looks he's going to
Dude,
get such a big bag of money.
bro,
He he's coming into a contract year. He's going to make so much.
he's receiver two in PPR on the year. Can you believe that?
I I mean, I think we were both kind of confident into him coming into the year. But if you would have told me he was going to be the wide receiver two in points, I would have called you stupid.
That's
Especially
nuts.
with CD on this team, it's absurd.
He has 8 touchdowns on the year. That's just what a guy.
And
Go,
Miss,
go dogs, baby.
yeah, he's got a terrible attitude, but man, he's a
Yeah,
heck of a
he
player.
does.
And then Dak Prescott, the dude's playing at an MVP level.
Yeah,
Him
again.
throwing on their first drive of the game, him throwing the interception. I really thought it was just going to be another classic Dallas. They kind of it's not a playoff game, but it definitely had a playoff game feel to it. I thought he was just going to kind of implode, but credit to him, he played a heck of a
He
game,
did.
especially after coming back from that pick. So he's definitely a guy that you can play on a week to week with confidence.
Man, even Javante Williams kind of cooked y'all through the air, bro.
Yeah, he had a tough time running against us, but that's just we have a pretty good rushing defense.
Three for three,
Um,
21 yards and a touchdown, dude.
he's that touchdown to him as well. That was a crazy Dak play. It
Yeah,
looked like he was going to get obliterated. He started to run outside, and if he wouldn't have got rid of that ball, he would have had a concussion, no doubt about it. But
blast.
him flipping it to Javante like that, it kind of resembled Mahomes. It was just a slap to the face. That used to be us, and now we've got
Now
Dak Prescott just killing us.
trash. Malik Davis even took one to the crib, man.
Dude, that guy,
That was
he
nuts.
was he was out of no. He shot out of a cannon on that play. That was that was a I don't know what he runs, but he's got to be a 4.4 guy. That was
Dude,
faster than I've ever seen.
turned on the Jets, truly.
Yeah, which
It,
is good because they desperately need a running back two on this offense.
yeah,
Javante can't do everything, and they've been giving Turpin carries, which he
y-
he
yep.
should not be in the backfield. So it was definitely cool to see him have some success.
Unlike Mr. Pacheco, man, what a weird. That needs to be studied, bro. Pacheco's decrease. I know it's injury
That
related, but
that leg injury just really derailed his career.
yeah, because he's a like a run with your head. You know,
Yeah, he's had terrible vision his whole career. He runs through the ground, and he was so hard to tackle. But now arm tackles take him down. He's a non-factor, unfortunately.
Mr. Pacheco, man.
Move
Now
move on. Move on. I'm
this is
tired
tough
of
for
being
you. I
depressed.
know. I'm sorry.
It's
Well,
all right.
now it's my turn, dude. Panthers versus the Los Angeles Rams. The only reason I'm sad, maybe you know what? Let me just kind of get this out there. My running back situation sucks butt this year, and then to see Chuba Hubbard on my freaking bench, bro, who lost his job to Rico Dowdle. Kudos to Rico Dowdle having 20 fantasy points. Like what? I just don't know. The Panthers, man, might be the most unique team right now at 7-6, which is better record than Chiefs. That's crazy to say, and I don't mean that as a dig, truly. So I apologize there. But man, 7-6 for the Panthers. But Chuba Hubbard had 83 yards, two catches for two targets, 41 yards and a touchdown, and finally got to see that back. But dude, how about Bryce Young, man? 206 yards, three touchdowns. We could talk about Tet. I mean, this team is interesting. How do you feel about the Panthers? Are they like a team actually to be worried about coming in? Like, do you think they have a opportunity?
I I wouldn't necessarily be worried about them, but I think they have shown the ability that they can play with anybody. That defense over there is scrappy.
Yeah.
Um, and Bryce Young, he had a terrible week this past week. The week
Yeah.
before that, he threw for 350. And then this game, he had a great showing against. This is probably borderline the best defense in the league. The Rams have been an amazing defense. So seeing him put up that performance, it was great to see. And like you said with the running backs, it's solely a hot hand situation there.
Yeah.
Both running backs got basically the exact same carries, 17 and 18. Uh, Chuba got off to that hot start when he got the receiving touchdown, and they kind of went with him the rest of the game. He was playing great, credit to him, but
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to be able to trust that from here on. It's definitely going to be whoever's running the best that game. He's a great running back. He just didn't have it this game, and he didn't even play that bad.
Yeah.
18 carries for 58 yards, not great, but Chuba was averaging 5 yards a carry. He just had a great game. Tet, I've been
Man.
high on him all year. This game, it was solely one. He had one catch for
Yeah.
43 yards. It just happened to be for a touchdown. That's exactly how this past week was. He had one catch for a touchdown. So at least he's getting utilized downfield. So that's one thing to hang your hat on. But he definitely is a bit scarier these past 2 weeks.
Yeah. Speaking of touchdowns, dude, Devontae Adams moving up in the list in total touchdowns. Kudos to the guy. But dude, this Rams offense is so good, bro. And to the fact that they lost within this too, Puka Nakua's had a fantastic year, and Devontae Adams is like guaranteed to get a touchdown per game because they'll get right to the end zone. They run a slant for Devontae Adams, and it just every time. Uh, this guy's been a dog. Number 6 receiver on the year. Almost had a touchdown every game. Literally 3 of the games of this year he hasn't had a touchdown, and he's had multiple multi-touchdown games. So these are guys you can trust going into fantasy football playoffs. I mean, these are guys you want to have. Even Kyron Williams here, I mean, and Blake Corum, like we talked about earlier. If Kyron Williams missed any time, Blake Corum is a fantastic handcuff in that to have him right there with him. even though Matthew Stafford didn't have a great fantasy output, he's been a good quarterback this year. How do you feel about this Rams team, Matt? I know you got shares of Puka Nakua, so you're already kind of happy there, I'm sure.
Yeah, you can't say enough good things about him. Devontae Adams has definitely just kind of put Matthew Stafford in the MVP conversation. Uh, in the past, Kyron Williams has been the red zone guy. This year, we've seen it's Devontae Adams. If he's one on one in any sort of coverage, they are throwing him the ball,
It's
and
over.
he look. I think he's had 16 opportunities in the red zone, and he's caught I think 10 for a touchdown.
That's
He's
nuts.
unstoppable in that part of the field. So him and Puka, they're automatic starts on a week to week basis. Like we were talking about with Kyron, if he is hurt or limited in any sort of way, Blake Corum is definitely a guy you can play. He looks good in this offense when he gets the opportunities. So that's definitely something to watch. It looks like he's going to be healthy, but Kyron has
Right.
been kind of an injury prone guy his whole career. So if he does happen to get hurt here in the playoffs for fantasy, Blake Corum's a guy you can automatically put in. And then Matthew Stafford, like you said, didn't have a fantastic fantasy day,
Mm-mm.
but over the course of the year, he's been unstoppable. 32 touchdowns on the year and only 4 picks. I I
That's
think it's pretty much
crazy.
yeah, it's his MVP to lose at this point, especially with the Rams being 9-3. So with the Rams, I don't think you have any sort of question on who you can start on a week to week. They basically play them all besides the tight end.
Yeah, Colby Parkinson. Uh, their schedule is a little difficult though. You got Arizona, Seattle, Atlanta. We can throw that one out there, and Arizona. So I mean, it's not an easy schedule ahead, but still, these guys are trustworthy, and you can know going ahead that they're going to get you some fancy output. I wanted to ask you, Matt, because I was watching this game, and this may be the last game we cover because I know we got a few other segments, and there was some other good games to cover here. But C.J. Stroud or Davis Mills, Matt? Who? I don't care if C.J. Stroud's healthy, bro. Who you putting in?
It's a tough question because Davis Mills obviously had a lot of success when he was the starter for this team,
Come on.
and arguably the offense looked better with him. So it's definitely tough when CJ Stroud's he's your franchise guy. So I
Yeah.
feel like you have to stick with him. I don't think they would play Davis over him unless something catastrophic happened. But it's definitely an interesting conversation. With I mean CJ didn't look great this game.
No.
276 passing, no touchdowns. He had a pick. He sacked twice. They did get the win
Without
though,
Sauce
which
Gardner.
yeah, yeah. That's another that's just a bummer for the Colts after they traded 2 firsts for him.
Yeah.
But that being aside, he didn't lose them the game, which
Right.
I think is very important. But I think going forward, he's obviously not a guy that you can play for fantasy, but I think he
No.
does offer you great upside for Nico Collins and just the offense. So they're going to stick with CJ Stroud, but it is interesting. I think Davis Mills might have played his way into a role on another team next year.
Steelers,
Maybe,
man.
yeah, maybe the Steelers. I know our friend Avery has talked about that. Uh, so yeah, Davis played great. He's definitely a good backup quarterback.
Yeah, he was quarterback 1, 10, and 15. Kind of nuts that Davis Mills balled out like that.
And
Uh,
they went undefeated, did they not?
yeah,
When he
I
was
think
in,
they started like 0-3 or something like that, or 2-3, and then went on a 6-2 run. And so I think that may not the math may not be math in there, but I know it was a they had a big turnaround there with the Davis Mills. So
I
um
think when he was in, he was like 3-0 or 4-0. Like
yeah,
he had a good run at as a starter.
boy's a dog. Another question for you, Matt. With Daniel Jones dealing with a leg injury because he didn't play that great, really, I mean he did what he could. Alec Pierce really got all the work here. But with Daniel Jones kind of being with a leg injury, and he's a mobile guy. Didn't run as much. Really had to stay in the pocket. Do you think this affects the receiver core? I mean, Michael Pittman didn't do much here. Alec Pierce got the deep ball, but that's because he's had to stay in the pocket that whole time, and the game script kind of leaned that way. How you feel about this Colts offense going forward?
I think going forward, it's definitely if the pocket collapses at all, I think you're going to see a lot of struggles out of Daniel Jones because, like you stated, he's dealing with the I think it's a fractured fibula,
Oh,
um,
jeez.
but he is not mobile at the moment. I mean, who would be with a broken leg? But
Yeah.
uh, if the opposing team gets any sort of rush on him, I don't think you're going to see any sort of success. It is tough to call it off of one game, especially when they're playing the Texans defense,
Yeah.
who's, if not the best defense in the league, the second best. So it's definitely worth watching this upcoming week just to see how he plays. But if you're going solely on this game, it definitely downgraded the pass catchers on this team. This was one of the worst games Tyler Warren's had all year. If he wouldn't have got the touchdown, it would have been a terrible week.
Yeah.
Michael Pittman, like you said, one catch for 13 yards. The one bright spot on the offense was Alec Pierce. So with Daniel not being mobile at all, I
Yeah.
think it's definitely going to limit him. It's going to be a lot of quick passes that don't offer us a ton of fantasy goodness. So
Right.
it definitely downgrades them, in my opinion.
Looks a little bit New York Giants. Daniel Jones kind of
Which I
coming
don't
out
want to
there.
talk too much crap because he's playing through a leg injury. So
Yeah, dude's
I mean
legs really hurt.
that's a tough son of a gun.
What a legend. And then I did want to say there, JSN with the terrible
It's,
game,
he really
but
let me down. He's been so good. He let me down this week, though.
but man, he's been a dog, so you can't say much there. Based on the guy, Titans suck. New York Giants like Jackson Dart. What a dog. And then you gotta love the 50-50 split with Travion Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson. Still,
Dude,
so
what are they doing? Why is Ramondre getting 50% of the snaps?
listen,
It makes
I'm
no
loving it.
sense.
Having Ramondre Stevenson, I'm not going to play him, but it just gives me hope that there's a chance
From
to
an
have this
from an
guy.
unbiased position, though, I know you have
Yeah, no,
Ramondre. What
but
what sense does it make?
if if you as a coach know you have a player that's better, like you've seen it, and younger for the future, and then you look at a guy that's been prone to fumble over and over and over again, and never like has maybe had 1 or 2 years that's been like, oh, he's all right. Like logically, it's stupid for you to not continue to play the younger player to develop and grow like chemistry with your players. But yet, we continue to see Ramondre Stevenson on the field. It's dumb. It's just dumb. I don't understand it. I truly don't.
I mean,
There's
he
no
averaged three
reason.
yards. He averaged 3 yards a carry. And it's never better than that. I just don't I don't understand it. And he was more utilized in the passing game than Trayvon was, and that's his
And he's,
skill set.
yeah. And he's still not like good at that, is what
No,
gets me. It's like, it's not like it's, oh, wow, like this is his bread and butter. Like this guy is good at it. No. And so it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it.
it's
But they don't
it's
pay me the
it's.
big bucks, I guess so.
No, you're right, but
But I'll send him an email, dude, because man,
it shouldn't be allowed, is what I'm saying.
I agree.
put,
Trade him
put,
to the Chiefs, bro.
yes, we'll
You,
we'll we'll gladly take him.
you'll take a Ramondre, bro.
He's better than what we got.
Cream Hunt's been a dog.
Kareem Hunt, he's a decent player. I'll give you. He has no explosive to him. It's not in his repertoire. He gets you 5 yards here and there. It's just never. I don't know if I think the longest run he had this year was like 16 yards, and we were blown away. Like, look at Kareem go. It it's
That's
not
so sad.
impressive. Yeah,
He's not the same guy he was on the Browns, or even when he was
no.
there the first time.
When he was with us the first time, dude, he was great.
He was a unit. He was a
Yeah,
unit. All right,
he still is a tank, but he's just old.
he's just an old man. All right, Mr. Matt, what we got here as we close, man.
So I came across something pretty interesting. Sleeper put out their MVP rankings for the year, just for it's not fantasy, just overall MVP of the league. I wanted to get your reaction to their top five on the MVP ranking here.
Okay.
So I'll state the name and then I'll say their yards and everything for the year, and then I'm going to have you rank them on how you would have them 1 through 5. So starting off in the one slot, they have Drake May, which I was surprised that they didn't have Matthew Stafford at one.
Yeah.
But Drake May, over the course of the year, he's had 3,400 passing yards, 23 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Um, he does offer you a rushing ability, 319 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns on top of that, and they lead the AFC in record. So they're
Yeah.
11-2 this year. So he's been balling. But
Right.
then you have old man Stafford,
Come
who has
on.
thrown for 3,000 passing yards, 32 touchdowns, 4 picks, a
See, I think
32 to 4 ratio.
that's great.
And
That's
then,
what's impressive.
yeah, it's phenomenal. And they're sitting at a 9-3 record right now.
Mm.
In the third slot, they have Jackson Smith and Jigba. 82 receptions on the year, 1,300 yards. He was on pace for 2,000. Could have been the first receiver to do it. Still could be, but he's kind of this past week just kind of threw that out the window. 20 receiving yards this past week hurts.
That's
But
awful.
yeah, he has 7 touchdowns on the year, so very good year.
Yeah.
In the fourth spot, all the credit to this guy, Miles Garrett. He's got 49 tackles on the year, 19 sacks. The
Jeez.
record the record for sacks in a year is 22 and a half. He's got 5 games left. I,
Three just
I
needs to
think
get.
it's yeah, I think it's pretty much written in the books. He's going to get 3 sacks. So if he breaks the sack record, that's going to be very impressive. I think his downfall is just the Browns have such a bad record,
Yeah.
and it's tough because it's basically a quarterback award nowadays, the
Right.
MVP. But it would be really cool to see a defensive player or just another offensive player win it.
I agree.
Um, in the fifth spot, they've got Jonathan Taylor. He's had 1,300 rushing yards this year, 15 touchdowns, which is pretty wild. 35 receptions for 304 yards, and then 2 receiving touchdowns on top of that. So he's got 17 touchdowns on the year. Um, he's having a very similar year to Saquon this past year, and Saquon was in the MVP discussions throughout the year this past season. So
Yeah.
it's definitely cool to see Jonathan have so much success. I do think with the Daniel Jones injury, we might see a kind of slip in his play with them not being able to pass the ball as much. But so far this season, he's played amazing. So it's definitely cool to see him in the top five.
I think he needs to be there. You know what I mean? He needs to be in the conversation. Uh,
Without a
I,
doubt.
I'll be honest with you, dude. I don't know if I'd change the list. And the only thing that I might change would be the Matthew Stafford to Drake May. And the reason I feel like Drake May should still be number one is because if you look at the two different teams, I know he's got Stephon Diggs, I guess, but his his tools are way worse than what Matthew Stafford is playing with. Like he's got Devonte Adams, like certified veteran baller. He's got Puka Nakua, Kyron Williams, and I guess past that, that's about it. But you go back and you look at the Patriots, like Drake May, younger, better record, and worse weapons to throw to. I feel like it's pretty valid that he's above Matthew Stafford. Although Matthew Stafford's my guy. He's a dog, bulldog. Gotta put some love there. But I think the rest of them, especially like how JSN's kind of popped off compared to other years, like this has been a phenomenal year for him. And Miles Garrett's been a dog on a bad team, and that's kind of where, like you mentioned, that's why he is where he is. So honestly, I agree with the list. And like I said, the only thing I would change would be maybe Matthew Stafford up, but I kind of don't want to, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
you bring up a good point. Drake May, the weapons on each of those teams are not equivalent.
Yeah.
Drake Drake May, his number one, Stephon Diggs, would not be a starter on the Rams, honestly. with Devontae
Yeah.
Adams and Puka Nakua on that team, and their tight ends are pretty good as well with Parkinson, and then Higby's been hurt, but he's played this year as well. Uh, Drake May, if you just look at the specific team, he has
Yeah.
carried the weight a lot more than I think Stafford has. So
And his
I
rushing
do,
ability adds a lot.
yeah. You kind of changed my mind a little bit. I was full in on
Okay.
changing it to Matthew Stafford at one, but when you bring up the weapons, it's just not even close.
Yeah.
It's not even comparable. Yeah, Drake May has thrown a lot of touchdowns to Booty. He's literally got Booty in his name.
Yeah,
So
like that's how bad it is, bro.
yeah, and he kind of revitalized Stephon Diggs' career when no one really wanted
Honestly,
him.
yeah.
He has made Stephon a pretty valuable asset in fantasy. So I
Shout
like
out Matt
that.
Collins too, bro.
Yeah,
What,
barefoot Matt Collins.
dude? Even if you think about it in terms of like where the Patriots were before this year, seeing how like to me it shows me like that guy is like he's the valuable player because they are not the same team they were before. Whereas like the Rams consistently here, I mean they've been decent. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like that's why he. It kind of crazy how much of a dog Drake May really is, but
Yeah, Mike Vrabel. You can't say enough about him. Him
dude,
and Drake May they've changed that organization, and I hate to. I watched the freaking Patriots be so good for my entire life.
it
They
sucks.
finally were bad, and now they're good again. So that's tough. That's tough to swallow. But it is really fun to see that conversation between what was the best quarterback out of that draft is a very interesting one. We
True, yeah,
went when they got drafted, Caleb Williams was the automatic auto pick. He's going to be the
yeah.
best. Then the first year, Daniels was just the front runner by far.
Oh yeah, he was a dog.
Now, now in their second year, Drake May is probably number one on that list. Then I think Caleb Williams and Jaden are both pretty. They're pretty comparable on which one you'd
Yeah,
rather have at two. So that's a very fun conversation. And then you throw Bo Nix in there. Bo
yeah.
Nix is even, I mean, he's had a lot of success so far. And
He
poor old
he's been
Michael
good,
Penix, he just can't stay healthy. But,
dude.
dude, that was a great quarterback draft. You don't see that many have such success. So that's very cool to see.
I mean, I think they knew that it was gonna be good, but not to this caliber. Like especially Drake May from old Unk, bro, freaking UNC coming in and balling like he has been. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the Drake May Bo Nix. I honestly I like all of the quarterbacks from that class.
I hate
Uh,
Bo Nix. I love the rest of them.
I I hated Bo Nix at Auburn, but I liked him at old Oregon. But man, yeah, at Auburn I hated the guy when he played us. Still beat him.
That Broncos team just doesn't make sense. They
It
they ha-
doesn't.
their offense looks terrible at certain points, but they continue to win games.
Yeah, well, dude, let's. I do want to talk about this because I want to ask you about it. Okay. Number one, Marcus Mariota almost beat them in overtime. So that kind of the Broncos just find a way, bro. There's like probably 4 games you could take away from them. But RJ Harvey, fraudulent, bro. 13 carries. So he had 21 fantasy points, but 13 carries for 35 yards, bro. Two
Yeah,
touchdowns.
the two goal line carries saved his bacon. He did not look great.
No, no. I feel like this guy's not what we think he is because even if you look at week 8, same thing. It was the 2 touchdowns and obviously the one in the air that really saved him, bro.
Yeah, I think he's more of just a Swiss Army knife in the passing game. I don't think he's a very explosive runner, but he's just not that good running through the tackles.
Yeah,
That's what J.K. Dobbins excelled at. That's why he was so good on the team. And then they threw R.J. Harvey in there on obvious passing downs for the running backs. So he's definitely not as good of an all around running back. He's not a workhorse guy. He's definitely more of a Swiss Army. Use him in the passing game. I mean, Sean Payton, he was great at that with the Saints. He always had multiple running backs that he used one running through the tackles, and then he had one guy that was there for pass catching. So He definitely does not look like an all-around workhorse to me.
No, no, I don't really know if I believe in him. But this
I'm,
week, dude, this week was a great
the
week of football.
Commanders' defense should not have held him to 35 yards.
No, bro. Like if they're the ones that's bringing you only that kind of issue, then it's a different problem. I feel like. But this week, fantastic week of football, bro. Three candidates for like catch of the year. By the way, too. Shout out Brock Bowers, Puka Nakua, and the Traylon Burks. A lot of
Dude,
work there, but
I don't know if you saw the hand he caught that ball with. He just had surgery on his middle finger, and
oh, I didn't know that.
he still had it taped up, cast on it, and he caught that ball with it. It was absurd.
What a dog, bro. Or
Dude,
should I
I
say
couldn't.
hog? Yeah, come on,
Yeah,
bro.
what
Go
a
pig.
hog, dude. I couldn't be more happy for him. I hope he finds some success with Washington. And he could, honestly.
You're good,
They
dude.
Scary Terry's always hurt. Debo Samuel's always hurt. So he definitely has an opening there. Surely to goodness he can beat Jalen Lane out for playing time.
No, for real.
It If he can't, then okay, it's over.
He
But
was a first round pick. What? Maybe
yeah,
what was it? Top 10?
yeah, it was a straight across trade. AJ Brown for a first round pick. Then they took Traylon with the first round pick. But like I said, he was kind of set up for failure there with
Yeah.
Ryan Tannehill, and then he had Will Levis. Uh, what's the? They had the black quarterback as well. I forgot his name. Um,
The guy from Malik Willis,
yeah, Malik Willis.
pretty
None
sure.
of those guys are any. They're not even any of them are starters. Ryan Tannehill's
No.
out of the league. Uh, it's
R.I.P.
just yeah. Malik Willis is a backup. Levis is a backup. Levis can't even start over Cam Ward, who looks not very good.
No. Well,
So
Cam Ward's been okay.
he's looked better as of recently.
Yeah, he's got
He
a
definitely he has some flashes at least, which you want to see. But that being said, he doesn't have much help on that
right,
Tennessee
and the
team. So
organization really kind of did him dirty a little bit there. But
that's not a place you want to go
no,
if you're being drafted. In all honesty,
no. Tennessee natives. I don't even know if they're Tennessee fans, honestly, unless it's the
if
Vols.
something crazy too, the Falcons this past draft they traded or they traded with the Rams. So now the Rams have the Falcons first round pick this upcoming year, and it's going to
Brother,
be a top 10 pick. That just that's catastrophic.
that
The Rams
hurts.
the Rams do not need that pick, and it's going to be top 10.
Do they take a quarterback? Because I think Matthew Stafford's almost
I
done,
don't.
bro.
The tough part is this quarterback draft just isn't very good.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
I doubt it. I think with how good Stafford's playing, I think they're going to ride him out a couple more years. But I mean, it's always a possibility. Old Archie Manning, if he comes out and is
He's
in the
buns.
draft,
Dude's buns,
you
bro.
think he's buns?
Yeah.
I don't. I wouldn't go that far,
Gunnar
but
Stockton over Arch Manning. Genuinely, like, I believe that, bro.
that's absurd.
Dude, Gunnar Stockton runs better than the dude. Maybe his arm's not as good. But peep the stats this year, bro.
Yeah, but he's on a. I mean, when you're playing for Georgia,
But
you've got
It's not like Texas is a bad program.
no, I'm not saying that, but Georgia for the past 10 years has had the best players
Not
in all
10.
of college football.
10's a bit of a stretch, bro.
What?
Maybe the last 5 or 6.
Okay, I'm sorry. Last 5 or 6 years,
Yeah,
but
we've had
dude,
some
those
years,
guys
dude.
they've been loaded.
Yeah, maybe I'd say 5 years
I mean,
because
just
we had some rough.
what quarterback have you seen come out of Georgia have success in the NFL as of recently?
Matthew Stafford.
As of recently,
That's it, man.
yeah.
Stetson Bennett
Now
looked pretty good.
that being said, not no Texas quarterbacks have either, but
No, but dude, I'm telling you, Gunnar Stockton he's fit for this NFL game.
hey, Carson Beck has looked pretty darn good for
No
Miami.
buns.
I know you hate him, but he's
I
looked good.
I didn't like him here at Georgia, but
He's kind of a
whatever.
cocky little crap,
I
but
I don't like him, bro. Stupid sleeve on his arm. What a bum.
dude, that being said, the Lane Kiffin news,
Yeah,
That was pretty wild. That's all I saw on sports media the last
How do you
couple
feel
days.
about that?
I don't know why Ole Miss fans expected anything else. This is how he's been his whole coaching career. He he says he's dedicated to a team, and then when a better opportunity comes, he's always gone. And I don't necessarily blame him. That's how coaches work
Yeah.
when it's college. NFL's different. They usually stay with the team, but college football, when you have an opportunity to go to a prestigious program like LSU, it's just a different game. Especially
Yeah.
with the NIL now,
Bro.
they have
He's making
such.
12 he's making 12 million annually, bro.
Yeah, I think he's the second highest paid to Kirby Smart. So he's going to have so
Fantastic.
much money to spend on these players. And LSU is just one of those colleges that anybody out of LSU that's a good player is going to go to LSU.
Yeah.
So I don't blame Lane at all, but I just don't understand why the Ole Miss players are or fans are throwing such a fit.
I mean, it wasn't like he hurt the program at Ole Miss necessarily. So,
The
I mean,
schedule in college football is stupid though. Like
well,
he
yeah,
he should have
I agree.
been he should have coached this team through the playoffs and then went to a different school. The but I get where LSU's coming from as well. They had to get a coach so that they could get these transfer portal players in.
Right.
Just the times these windows open are just they're stupid,
Which we just lost to commit to freaking Vandy. That's dumb. How
dude.
do you feel while we're here? We've already gone long, and we can I guess close with this too. How do you feel about Arkansas hiring a good old Memphis head coach, man?
It's about as underwhelming as a hire as you could
Could
get.
have
I
got Lane
don't
Kiffin. He got a Memphis head coach, man.
I don't know why we expect anything else as Arkansas fans. He took over a program that was in pretty good standing.
Hmm.
Memphis, they had a pretty good foundation, and when he became the coach, they were just on the decline.
Yeah.
So I don't see how you see that and you say, "Oh man, I'm going to hire him." That being said, his first couple days, he's got a lot of in-state talent to commit to Arkansas. He's flipped a few guys. He flipped a really talented running back from Missouri, which I love to see because I hate Missouri.
Yep.
But I don't know. Underwhelming is what I'll say.
Yeah.
I don't expect much from our football program, if I'm being honest. It's pretty much all basketball at this point. But I was expecting a little bit of a better hire.
I'll send you Mike Bobo.
Thank you.
I'll send you Mike Bobo too, because he does what he does, I guess.
But maybe when the NFL's over, we can cover some college sports,
Yeah,
especially
dude.
college basketball will be in pretty big swing.
Listen, and the Bulldogs this year, baby. Listen, we look good.
The
I'm,
SEC in general, dude, that we've got
yeah,
a lot of good basketball teams.
I'm for it, bro. I'm for it.
Freaking Calipari putting us. We've played three top 10 teams the past 3 weeks. I don't. We're playing such. We played Michigan State. Now we're
Yeah,
playing. We played Duke this
Boozer.
past week. Now we're playing Louisville. It's just top 10 teams after one after another.
How you feel? How you feel about Boozer?
He's a
Overhyped,
dog. We should have doubled him. I don't know what we were
dude.
doing. And
He's a
and
unit.
honestly, that the score we lost by 8, but it was a lot closer than that. It just came down to the fouls at the end of the game that pushed it to an 8-point game. But we played a good game. Boozer just we couldn't stop him. That dude's electric.
He's at his size, bro. He's just it's crazy.
Dude,
It
he
actually
handles
is.
the ball so well for that big of a player.
Yeah, was he 6'10"?
Yeah, he's around that 6'10", 6'9", but he can shoot, he can dribble, he'll post you up. He just looks unstoppable unless you double him.
I I'm not prepared to play Duke, but them dogs are looking pretty
Does Georgia
good.
play him?
So I don't know if we do. I need to look at our
You
schedule.
better hope you don't.
We play. Let me look. Actually, we just played Florida State and won. We haven't played very many people other than Georgia Tech and Clemson.
Hey, you don't want to play us.
We do. So we played in January.
I doubt you have Duke on the schedule.
No, we don't got Duke.
Yeah,
Interesting. I wish we. I wish our schedule was a little bit more difficult, but we run through the SEC, so
Just wait. You guys haven't played much so far.
no. But we looked good. We beat FSU 107-73. So lost to Clemson, which is not. I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, we'll do some college. We'll see what we got. Well, Takeology fans, listen to our one viewer here at 125. Shout out. Come on now. Already making it all the way to the end. And we'll be here again next week. We missed last week because of the holidays. Playoff edition. Might have to talk about some. Me and Matt are going against each other, so it might be a little rough. Not gonna lie. In these next few pods, it might be. I don't know. Might have some
We'll
beef.
keep it civil.
We'll keep it civil. But we will see you next week for Takeology. The playoffs goes well. We hope your week goes well. And go Bulldogs.
Go Hogs. Peace.
See ya.